Obviously, shock waves are running through the entire community, as well as profound grief. Sister Carolyn Oakes was a beloved member of the church. Preliminary reports say she was stabbed more than 30 times.
Oh, can you believe it? Just what I need.
Helen, it's a compliment. High-profile case. You get the assignment. That's
too high profile. I don't need that kind of pressure. It makes my face break out.
Police were actually responding to the calls of another kidnapping victim, Cynthia Simonson, when they found the nun's body in a closet. Unconfirmed reports indicate...
The arraignment's when?
9 o'clock.
Maybe I'll stop by my way and watch.
Why?
Because it's high profile and I want to be there for your first pimple.
Oh, funny.
This is big stuff, Helen. They must consider you their go-to DA. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
Case number 32654, Commonwealth versus Michael Kingston, murder in the first degree.
Quiet down. I say quiet. Anybody who disrupts this room will be removed, possibly to a jail cell. I don't think you want to test me.
Joseph Mapp, for the defendant, Your Honor. We'll waive reading.
Helen Gamble for the Commonwealth. We'd obviously oppose bail.
Okay, let's conference. We can set the trial date there. Counsel, I have great respect for the public defenders, as well as your work in particular, but given the magnitude of scrutiny this case is likely to generate, together with the limits on your office's resources, Ms. Joe, would you step up, please? Ms. Joe, did you hear me? Would you please come forward?
I hope you're not thinking of...
You win. Congratulations.
Your Honor.
Get together with the DA. Let's conference as soon as possible.
Your Honor, I regretfully have to decline. My schedule...
Counsel, this wasn't a request. It's your case. Next.
Case number 32655, People versus Nathan.
Can she really make me do this? She can't make me, can she? Can she make me?
Where is she?
Chambers.
Come on.
Oh, come on. You love these cases. Granted, it doesn't involve a chopped-off head, but still...
We don't want this one.
Why?
You know why.
Well, then humor me.
The victim is a nun, stabbed 30 times. This kind of crime, the stigma will run to the lawyers defending the psycho who killed...
Again, I keep going back to the client who cut off the girl's head. You defended him.
He was innocent.
To the public, he wasn't, so you faced the same stigma there, Bobby.
Which is why we don't need to be the lawyers on this one.
Plus, the district attorney is my roommate. That's grounds for disqualification right there.
Not if the judge is convinced you'll rise above the potential conflict, which I am.
Helen Gamble is also an ex-girlfriend of mine.
You've tried cases against her before.
Your Honor...
Bobby, if I were to recuse you every time you've slept with the other side...
Hey!
There's already a lynch mob mentality out there. You can see that. I need to ensure he gets a legitimate and zealous defense. You people fight for murderers better than anybody.
You can't force us to take this case.
Of course I can. It's exactly what I'm doing. Go defend him.
I got him down to straight probation. I think we should jump.
But Jimmy, if I take any guilty finding, I lose my job. I've got a morals clause which says any criminal conviction.
Maybe we could talk to your boss.
He can't waive it. No. There's a precedent. This is a company with 32,000 employees. This isn't fair. This isn't fair.
Mr. Burroughs, it's not like you didn't commit the crime. You offered the woman money.
But I never would have. I am sitting in a bar, I'm minding my own business, and she came up to me.
We're gonna go with entrapment.
Is there any chance we could win?
Yes. But not a good one.
Well, the way I see it, I've got nothing to lose.
Yes, there is. You get convicted at trial, you could do time.
Miss Washington, it isn't exactly like my life has a lot of dimension. I have a job, which I've put in 16 years at. I've been a complete company man, and they say I could stay on, but not if I have a guilty finding. I want to roll the dice, Jimmy.
This is bad.
What can I tell you?
First of all, if this thing goes to trial, we lose a fortune. The court-ordered fees are minimal.
I don't care about the money.
What's with the Paddington? We've done nasty cases before.
This was a nun, Eugene. Stabbed repeatedly.
I understand, but we defended child killers. Are you upset on religious grounds?
Have you been watching the news?
Look, we could bring a motion before a different judge. Try to get out.
Arguing what?
Hardship, that we're too overloaded to...
That won't fly. Look, we've been assigned the case, so we do the job. Lindsay, meet with the client.
Oh, great.
Eleanor, I want you to draft up a motion for a gag order. No doubt Helen will be trying this case in the media every chance she gets. You and Lindsay will try it if it gets that far, since we're better off with women.
I'm moving out of criminal, remember?
Never mind. Eugene, I'd like you to do a memorandum on changing venue. We should try to move this thing out of Boston.
How about L.A.?
Lucy, good. All calls from the media, we have no comment.
Wait, you're putting her in charge of no comment?
I heard that.
Oh, you heard that? Such radar.
All right, let's get to work.
It isn't fair. The guy is like this sad sack. It was entrapment.
What do you want from me, Jimmy?
You know, I would never ask a favor in a million years that I thought was, unethical.
I don't know that, actually. But go ahead.
The guy is getting a bum shake. He's worked hard in his job, and he's about to lose it because some undercover cop got him aroused, and it's vintage entrapment.
So make the argument.
I'd like to make it to you. Judge Cohen's going on vacation. This thing will get transferred to one of 6 divisions, including yours. I know Mark Patsos, the clerk. I'd like him to steer it your way.
That wouldn't be a good idea. I wouldn't kick it. From where I stand, your client committed the crime. And second, I don't appreciate you're even asking what you're asking. It amounts to an ex parte communication. It's wrong, and you know it.
I got a good guy here.
I don't care.
Fine. Forget it. Fine.
You're angry now.
Just forget it. I gotta go.
Hey, Jimmy. Look, I understand you want to help your friend, but you have to understand that once I put on that robe, I don't play favorites for anybody.
Yeah. I thought I'd just take a shot.
Oh, I do like that. You do take your shots. Say, why don't you come back in a couple of hours, when the rope is off?
Hello, I'm Lindsay Dole.
I know. I was there at the arraignment, remember?
Yes. Okay. First off, attorney-client privilege. Anything you say obviously goes no further,
yes,
so...
but you don't want me to be too truthful in case I want to testify. We have to preserve you from lawyer ethic problems.
All right. Any thoughts on how a sliced-up nun got in your apartment?
I haven't a clue. How's that?
This woman, Cynthia Simonson, who called the police, was she being held captive?
Shouldn't you get to know a little bit about me first? I mean, I'm sure a nice person such as yourself has conflicts defending something so vile as me.
I kind of stay emotionally neutral in my cases. So let's just stick with the facts of the case. Let's start with the underlying kidnap charge on the girl.
I didn't kidnap her. She came back to my apartment, willingly. She just found herself locked in. And that would be false imprisonment, by the way. That's a distinction from kidnapping. This isn't your first case, is it?
No, it isn't.
Because you got a little virgin thing going on. Well, not that I don't like it.
Look, Mr. Kingston, you're in jail right now either because you killed somebody or somebody else played you for the perfect dupe. Either way, I consider you pretty stupid. And if you think you're going to intimidate me somehow, we can just forget that because I really don't have the time. I'm representing you because a judge ordered me to, and I will defend you as best I can, but don't mistake my efforts for caring. You disgust me.
The reason he even knew her is because she reached out to help him.
How so? He would show up at the church sometimes, angry, despondent. One time, Carolyn approached him. That was the thing about Carolyn. She was there for everybody.
Being there for him got her killed.
3 nights ago, she went to see him? Yes. She got a call from him. and he asked if she could come visit him at his apartment. She knew nothing about his criminal record. We told the police all this.
I understand, but his lawyers are good, and they may take this to trial. I just don't want to be surprised by anything. For example, they might even claim that Michael Kingston and Sister Carolyn were having a physical relationship.
What?
Their job is to get him off. They're not beneath arguing anything.
Carolyn wasn't having any physical relationship. If that's gonna be their legal strategy, good luck to them. They got the wrong nun. She went there to help a man she thought was in need.
Miss Gamble, you are going to put this man in jail, aren't you?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna do that. This woman, Cynthia Simonson, you say you didn't kidnap her.
I met her at a bar in Kenmore Square. She left with me, happily. She was at the bar with friends, ask them.
And you came back to your apartment.
To play Scrabble.
We're back to being cute now?
She left with me to spend the night together. Which we did.
And why'd you keep her locked up inside?
I didn't. I went out to get coffee in the morning, and I have a barred door with padlock. It's the only way it locks.
And the reason you have a barred door?
Safety. Don't want to get ripped off. Plus, which I had a nun in my closet. I didn't want people popping in.
Come on. Back off! You got your car here?
I walked.
Well, you won't be walking back. We'll get you to a cab.
You know where the back entrance is?
Yeah.
I'm using it.
Back off!
Why me? Why always me?
Well, it won't be you from here on in. I'll be with you every step. What about the supposed kidnapping of the college girl?
He said she went back to his place voluntarily.
What difference does it make? He carved up a nun.
Oh, may raise Fourth Amendment issues. Do we have an address on her?
Yeah, it's in my coat pocket, probably soaked in yolk.
Eleanor, try to talk to this girl. Eugene, I guess we should try to make contact with Dr. Crane in case we want to go with insanity.
Dr. Crane charges $5 grand. This is corner-pointed. The state will never authorize that.
Just give him a call in case we want to go that route. Give him what he did. There's got to be a chance he's insane.
So we're going to the mat for this psycho.
Do we have a choice?
We had a few drinks, talked.
And at some point, officer, you told him you were a prostitute.
I said I was lady of the evening, yes.
And how did Mr. Burroughs respond to that?
He was surprised at first, maybe shocked.
What happened next?
We kept talking. I eventually asked him if he'd like to go upstairs to his hotel room. He said yes.
Did you ever quote him a price?
$400.
And then?
We went upstairs, he paid me the money, at which point I told him I was an undercover police officer. I placed him under arrest, read him his rights, and took him into custody.
Why were you working this bar undercover?
Mainly because high-priced call girls were. It was a problem.
And this was an upscale hotel bar, right, officer?
Yes.
A lot of out-of-town business people frequented, including many law-abiding people, right?
Yes.
In fact, mostly law-abiding, wouldn't you say?
Probably.
And you weren't out to sting my client specifically, were you?
No.
In fact, you didn't even know who he was when you sat down.
No, I didn't.
And when you first sat down next to him, you told him you were an executive secretary. Isn't that right?
Yes.
How long were the two of you talking before you said you were a prostitute?
Maybe an hour or so.
An hour or so. So for a while, he could have thought, hey, this woman thinks I'm attractive. That possible?
I guess.
You guess? Well, in fact, that was the idea, wasn't it?
I suppose it was.
So before you told him that you worked for hire, you think it was possible he was already hoping maybe something could happen upstairs in his hotel room?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Did you feel, sitting there, he was physically attracted to you?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, I'd like to see her as she was that night.
Objection. There's no point.
It certainly goes to our entrapment defense.
I agree. The court will be adjourned for 1 hour. The witness will return in the same attire she wore that evening.
Life with parole, we both save ourselves a lot of aggravation.
Are you out of your mind?
He could have been out of his, Helen, in which case...
There's no way I'm making any deal which allows this guy to see the street again.
I understand the public outcry.
It has nothing to do with public outcry. Look at what he did. That's how she was found.
You want him free one day?
No. But if you don't offer us something, we have no choice but to go to trial. We'll agree to life.
I can't agree to parole. Come on, did you really expect me to?
I don't feel like devoting 6 months of my life to this guy.
Judge Hiller did that to you, not me.
Could you stand facing the front? Okay. Now facing me. Could you just walk over to the foreman, hold his hand?
Objection.
A woman like this touches you, it has an effect, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Now smile at him like you did my client.
Objection. Objection.
I really appreciate you coming in.
Oh, you shouldn't thank me too fast. I've absolutely no intention of helping you. Believe me, we completely understand. We just have a few questions.
The police say that you were locked inside Mr. Kingston's home.
Yeah, it was like one of those barricade doors.
And you went there willingly, correct?
Yeah, I spent the night.
At what point did you decide that you were kidnapped?
When I woke up, he was gone, and I couldn't get out. The door was padlocked. I called the police. I was panicked.
And when they got there, you told them that there were guns in the closet.
I told them that's what he told me.
And that's when they opened it up?
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember before passing out. When they opened the door, and I spent the night with him. I could have been next.
Good news or bad, depending on how you look at it.
What?
We got a shot at getting this case kicked.
Excuse me?
Fourth Amendment. Could be a bogus search.
How do you figure they moved in on a kidnap?
There was no kidnap here, Bobby. He was coming back to the place with donuts.
The police didn't know that.
Bobby, there was nothing exigent.
The arresting officer is taking the stand tomorrow at the PC hearing. If he says what I think he's going to, our little nun killer could walk.
Lindsay, there was a woman locked up inside his apartment and a chopped up nun.
And I'm telling you, we might be able to suppress the chopped up nun.
I don't really want to.
You think I do?
Been kind of quiet.
Me? Well, you tried taking the side of evil.
Yeah, well, I'd say let's head in together, but my hair doesn't like egg shampoo, so...
Well, you know, we're supposed to be on different sides. It wouldn't look so good if we marched in together, would it?
No. See you there?
See you there. She has no idea she's about to be ambushed. I feel like a snake.
Lindsay, it would have been unethical for you to give her the idea.
You clear them out! Open to the public. This is incitement!
Let's just keep moving, please.
I paid the woman the money. I don't deny that.
But?
But I didn't go into the bar looking for a call girl. I sat down at the bar, I ordered a nightcap, then she sat down.
Okay, but Mr. Burroughs, she didn't force you to hire her services.
We were talking, getting along. You know, I should have known something was up. Pretty women never come up to me. Things were getting flirtatious. And I started thinking, hotel bar, I'm on the road, she says she's on the road, and my mind is going right to where a man's mind goes to in these situations.
Which is where?
My penis.
Mr. Burroughs.
I'm just being honest. I haven't slept with a woman in 4 years. I don't even go looking for it. I'm a realist. But now suddenly I'm thinking, this is a possibility.
And then?
Then she tells me she's a lady of the evening.
And how did you respond?
I was crushed. One minute I was thinking this beautiful woman was actually attracted to me, and then the next I come crashing back down to earth. But as we continue talking, I begin to realize why she's sitting there and smiling at me, and it occurs to me that this possibility that I'd been so excited about, that still exists. And all of these little dreams I had been dreaming, well, suddenly $400 seemed cheap, and I said yes. She got me as thirsty as she could. She led me to a trough, and then I get arrested because I wanted to drink.
We were responding to a 911. When we got there, we found the girl behind the padlocked steel door.
Then what happened?
We cut through the door, freed the woman. She told us the suspect had guns or something in the closet. We opened the closet door, found the remains of the nun.
After you cut through the front door to reach Miss Simonson, there was no real emergency, was there, officer?
I suppose not.
And did you feel Miss Simonson had the authority to give you permission to open the closet?
Well...
You knew it wasn't her home, right? And by the way, how did you open the closet?
Crowbar.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense asks that you suppress the entire contents of that closet.
Quiet down. I'll see counsel in chambers.
It's a no-brainer. No exigency, no plain sight.
The police were responding to what they thought was a kidnap.
But after they went in, they had the girl.
And if there's cause for an arrest, there's cause for a search incident to an arrest.
Did you just make that up?
Hold on.
They could have secured the premises, got the warrant, they could have come back and searched. Instead, they just skipped the warrant.
If there was one kidnap, there could have been two. Somebody clearly could have been in that
Helen,
closet.
don't insult us.
All right, let's just cut through this. I'm told you'd agreed to life with parole. Let's just do that.
That offer isn't on the table anymore.
Bobby, I suggest you take it.
Why?
Because that officer could have reasonably believed there were exigent circumstances.
What?
He's a young kid. He comes upon a kidnap.
Hold on a second.
Lower your voice, please.
You stuck us on this case to do a job.
Which I'm grateful for.
And you gotta do yours.
Don't you raise your voice.
You're looking to avoid setting this guy free. I get it, but the search was bad.
I said lower your voice.
There were no exigent circumstances. The suspect wasn't even there. They knew the girl had no authority to say yes to the search. They had to get a warrant. They didn't. They screwed up. And everybody in this room knows they screwed up.
And if you suppress the contents of that closet, this guy walks. We all know that, too. The victim and the weapon were inside.
I'll hear oral arguments tomorrow.
Why?
Because I want to. It's my prerogative. Do you keep forgetting I'm the judge?
Let's not you forget it.
Oral arguments at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see Miss Gamble alone.
Why?
Why?
Hey, out! You better give me something, Helen. I don't want to set him free any more than you want me to, but you better give me something because...
Your Honor.
Go get something. You haven't got much time.
Under the belief this woman was a prostitute, you agreed to pay her $400 for sex.
She had me in an aroused state.
Is that your defense? You were in an aroused state?
My defense is entrapment. And this crime would never have happened if she hadn't come along.
You agreed to pay her $400 for sex.
Yes, Mr. Tisbury. They got me. Good for them.
Your Honor,
No, Jimmy, don't tell me to calm down. Now I'm angry. Now listen, I pay my taxes and this is what I get. The government is waving illegal candy bars in my face, hoping that I will bite.
And you did bite, didn't you, sir?
Which brings me right back to congratulations. Listen, you know, maybe you ought to litter the street with $20 bills next and bust the homeless when they don't turn them in. Oh, really?
what the hell was that?
I'm angry.
Our chance is right on sympathy, and you just blew it.
I don't care when I think about what they did.
No, you did it. They maybe brought you to the trough, but you did drink, Clyde.
I wanted to drink. I wanted to bite, but I didn't.
Because you got arrested before you could.
All right, Clyde, if we can still settle...
No. You know something, Jimmy? I'm a weak person. I know that, but I never broke a damn law in my life.
And you broke this one.
They caused me to, and it just isn't fair.
Anything and everything on search and seizure. Get on Westlaw. Check the Virginia case that threw out Miranda. Forget lunch, forget dinner. I need those citations by 7 o'clock. Go, go, go.
Don't tell me.
The officer screwed up, Mark. Now I'm screwed going in there.
Helen, if he walks, this...
He's going to walk, Mark, unless... Oh. Between now and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I have to find something.
How up-to-date are you on the Fourth Amendment?
The Fourth Amendment is an embarrassment. What else do you need to know? What's wrong?
I may have to set the nun killer free.
What?
Warrantless search. Stupid police mistake.
Oh, God.
Maybe I should just look the other way. Let the appeals court do the dirty work.
That isn't you, Zoe. We both know that.
Suppose I transfer it over to you.
Well, it's not me either. Besides which, I'm having a little thing with one of the lawyers at Bobby Donald's firm, so I'd have to recuse myself anyway.
What?
Oh, Jimmy Berluti. Little frolic.
Have you lost your mind?
What? I'm not supposed to have a personal life?
Well, you shouldn't be having it with lawyers who appear before you.
I don't. That's why I just said I'd have to recuse myself. You know, it's been quite a while since I've seen you smile. It wouldn't be such a bad thing if you went out and got yourself a little...
Never mind. What am I going to do, Roberta? The man viciously killed a nun. I put him back out there. He'll no doubt kill somebody else.
What about the kidnap charge?
It won't stick. They arrested the guy coming back to the house with coffee. The phone in the apartment worked. She was free to make a call. Clearly she wasn't being kidnapped. What the hell am I going to do?
Nice bomb, Lindsay. Couldn't tell me over breakfast, could ya?
No. Sorry.
You know, I realize you didn't want this case either, but still. What you do for a living, it's repulsive. And your little credo of just doing my job, it doesn't excuse it.
Hold on a second, Helen.
No, you hold on. It says something about a person's character, the kind of work that she would do.
You're turning this personal?
The fact that you could represent him even under court order and look at yourself in the mirror.
I'm not going to listen to this.
Oh, no, don't. It might kick up a little bit of a conscience.
Oh, give me a break.
No, Lindsay, the breaks go to people who kill nuns.
And the police, because they're always innocent.
The police try to catch criminals, Lindsay.
They don't even three of them planted a knife in Eleanor's desk trying to frame her and George Vogelman.
I'm not talking about that.
I am. You know, you're crying about...
This guy killed a nun.
And if we could trust the police, then we wouldn't have all these search and seizure rules.
Don't talk to me.
Oh, don't turn this on me. If you were in my position, you'd do
I would
exactly
never be in your position.
Hey!
Go to hell.
You go to hell.
Were you up all night? Couldn't sleep. Sure you could.
Oh, go to hell again.
Lindsay,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to take it out on you, but you're here.
You think I want the guy free, Helen?
No.
He hired her. $400. He agreed to pay her. And his defense is what? The aroused penis defense? The thing about prostitution, ladies and gentlemen, we can throw the Janes in jail, but they end up right back out there. Because they have no choice. Broke, some with drug problems, some with children to support. They can trade on their bodies, and they do. They end up right back out on the street because as far as they see it, there's no other choice. For the Johns, they do have a choice. Deterrence works on the Johns. And if we can shut down the demand by going after them, and this man, he had a choice, didn't he? He chose to knowingly break the law, to pay for sex. Now, he has to pay the consequence for that choice.
Entrapment. That's defined as when a person is lured into the commission of a crime that he has no predisposition to commit. And that's this case. Clyde Burrows never would have committed this crime if he had been left alone by the police. That's entrapment. And Mr. Tisbury stands here lecturing you on how we have to stop the Johns. Clyde never was a John in his life. He only became a John here because the police convinced him to become one. And big picture, is this what we want the police to be doing? Staking out law-abiding citizens, baiting them into committing crimes, then busting them. Sure. If Clyde Burrows had been stronger, he could have resisted. Maybe if he'd been more moral, he would have resisted. But he wasn't. He was weak. And thank God we have the police to go out and find the weak and lure them into committing crimes. Come on. The police are supposed to protect us, not trap us. The police are supposed to be catching the people who are out there committing crimes, not finding innocent people and luring them into committing crimes. Clyde Burrows would not be sitting here today but for the actions of a police officer. Is this the government we want?
Donald Young, Dolan Fred. Oh, shut up. Heard of Star 69, you idiot? I'm reporting you to the police.
What's going on?
It's this case. People don't like us doing it.
Absent exigent circumstances, the police cannot search without a warrant.
They thought she was kidnapped.
Which buys them entry. But once they had her, once the exigency was over, they had to get a warrant. There was no danger of losing evidence. They could have secured the premises. They can't even argue search incident to the arrest because the suspect was arrested outside the building. I know the idea of setting a murder defendant free is, of course, repugnant to everybody in this room, especially this defendant. But we have a Constitution, a Fourth Amendment and case law that couldn't be more clear. The police were required to have a warrant to search that closet. They didn't get that warrant. As a result, everything in that closet is inadmissible as evidence.
Ms. Gamble. Ms. Gamble?
The Fourth Amendment does not require warrants. It protects people against unreasonable searches, but it has never, by its language, required warrants.
The Supreme Court has chimed in and said that it does.
The modern Supreme Court interpreted it that way. The language only requires reasonableness, and nowhere does the Fourth Amendment ever say that evidence obtained absent a warrant or even absent reasonableness be excluded. This exclusionary rule wasn't carved out by the courts until 1961. That means for 172 years, the Fourth Amendment did just fine without excluding evidence. The courts decided to impose that sanction. The courts decided that that would be the best way to remedy police misconduct. Now we've stretched it to remedy police mistakes. Innocent mistakes, which themselves are reasonable. If a convicted felon locks up a woman, if he tells her he has guns in his closet, reason says he's forfeited his right to privacy. Reason says those police officers should go in and investigate.
Are you asking me to ignore the holdings of the Supreme Court?
I'm asking you to recognize the absurdity of the exclusionary rule. I'm asking you to recognize how ridiculous it is to require 20-year-old police officers to understand the law when judges and lawyers can't. In this case, there was no misconduct by the officers. They rescued a woman who appeared to be kidnapped. They attempted to make sure the apartment was gun-free before the kidnapper returned. This is reasonable. That man sitting right over there stabbed a nun 30 times and cut her into pieces. He has a felony record. Last night, I got into a screaming argument with the defense counsel. She accused me of making this personal. It is personal. I take my job very personally, Your Honor. I like to come in here thinking the work I do counts for something. Just like those police officers. And when we see criminals get turned loose on technicalities that have nothing to do with merit or the Constitution was designed to protect the innocent, not the guilty. In this case, that man, Your Honor, feed this right into the mouths of the Supreme Court. If they want to spit him back on the street, yes, I'm asking you to overrule recent decisions. We need a brave judge to do that, Your Honor. Otherwise, they'll never get the chance to revisit the irrationality. He killed a nun. He mutilated a nun and stuffed her into a closet. Fourth Amendment was never meant to protect this animal. I'm sorry. It's personal.
Judge Hiller.
I think Helen did pretty well.
Given her a hand, I've seen you better.
I'm sorry?
You hit all the marks. You certainly weren't bad, but I've seen you better.
Are you accusing me of something?
No.
Let's see you defend that guy better, Bobby.
I wasn't criticizing.
Yes, you are, and I don't like it.
Will the defendant please rise? Has the jury reached its verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
What say you?
In the matter of Commonwealth versus Burroughs on the charge of solicitation, we find the defendant, Clyde Burroughs, not guilty.
Wow. Oh, God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You stuck to your guns, Clyde. You hung in there. I gotta admit, I didn't think we'd win.
Well, I owe you big.
Do me a favor. From now on, go to bars like this instead of hotels. Pretty women don't come in here, except for Beck.
I take offense at that.
Roberta.
Hi. I just swung by to tell you that I won't be able to see you later tonight. I got to check on Judge Hiller. She may need me.
Well, how'd she rule?
Oh, she hasn't yet. I don't know which way she's going to go. So, can I please have a rain check for dinner?
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
Oh, she's made up her mind. I'm going to go. I'll call you later.
We're friends.
I agree with Ms. Gamble. There is nothing in the language of the Fourth Amendment that requires warrants. Nor is there anything that says illegally obtained evidence should be excluded. These rulings have been carved out by the courts in response to our distrust of the police. I also realize the courts are more than willing to adjust their thinking to the needs of the day. We search bags at airports now without warrants. Make people go through metal detectors. California requires fingerprints just to get a driver's license. The Department of Transportation has mandatory drug testing. We have all these invasive things we do to people, absent not only warrants, but absent any suspicion of wrongdoing. So, why can't a police officer who's been told there are weapons in the closet of a convicted felon, a man suspected of kidnapping, why can't he open the closet? I agree with the district attorney. The Fourth Amendment has been interpreted and expanded by the courts to the point where it belies both the language and the intent of the amendment, which is reasonableness. But I also know the Supreme Court rulings on search and seizure have set clear rules. And as much as I would love to be a renegade, our criminal justice system has no chance whatsoever once the judges themselves begin embracing judicial anarchy. The search of the closet was illegal. The contents are inadmissible. With the contents suppressed, I find no probable cause to hold the defendant. He is free to go.
Previously on the practice.
You want to hire me to defend you in a sexual harassment case? Don't you think that's a little strange?
Why? You're an excellent attorney.
Who you've had erotic dreams about.
Oh, please. If I had a dime for every erotic dream I'd ever had, forget it.
Is it possible that you weren't that great a clerk?
Well, I don't think she had the opportunity to really know whether I was a good clerk or not.
Why is that?
The only thing that transpired in her chambers was sex. We probably made love 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes 4.
Listen, maybe you want to get a glass of champagne later? Toast our victory?
Sure. Tell me, Jimmy, do you typically toast victory with all your clients? Or did all that sex talk make you curious?
We don't want this one.
Why?
The victim is a nun, stabbed 30 times.
Oh, come on. You love these cases.
Plus, the district attorney is my roommate. That's grounds for disqualification right there.
Miss Gamble, you are going to put this man in jail, aren't you?
Yes. I'm definitely gonna do that.
We got a shot at getting this case kicked.
Excuse me?
Fourth Amendment. Could be a bogus search.
The search of the closet was illegal. The contents are inadmissible. He is free to go.
Bobby come in yet?
No, not yet. What's wrong, Jimmy?
Nothing. Bobby, can I see you a second?
Now?
Now.
What's wrong?
I was on the internet last night, you know, just killing time. Privacy of my own home. I don't know what I was thinking.
Jimmy.
I clicked onto a web page. It was about hidden cameras. I figured, what the heck?
What, you saw some girly pictures?
Videos. And not just any girly videos. Lucy was in one of them.
Lucy? Our Lucy?
Yeah.
You sure?
I downloaded it to show you. It's kind of like Psycho. No, nobody gets hurt or nothing. Think she knows about this?
That's not Lucy. I mean, that's Lucy, but she wouldn't, turn it off.
There's more.
Jimmy.
What should I do?
You gotta tell her.
Maybe you should tell her. What?
What?
Just bringing in the mail.
Oh, you can just put it on the desk.
Yeah, right on the desk. The desk is good.
Okay. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing. The desk is fine.
I'll take the mail.
Okay.
I don't think I could ever look at her the same again. I know I can't.
I already testified once.
That was at the prelim. I explained this, Gary.
You can't just go with the other witnesses?
You're the only eyewitness.
Okay.
You want to go over it again?
No, I got it. I'm okay.
Gary, I know this is hard.
You know? You ever see your mother get shot, Miss Campbell?
I'll try to keep it short.
Does my father have to be there?
Gary, he's the defendant.
So you didn't know about this? I don't think so.
Hey, what's going on?
Lindsay, could you excuse us for a sec?
Sure. How could this happen?
You never made any videos.
No.
And you don't have any roommates. Okay. Let's go check out your apartment.
When I arrived at the scene, I found the defendant, Gordon Armbruster, seated on the living room sofa with his head in his hands.
What else did you see, Detective?
The victim, Charlotte Armbruster. She was lying on the floor.
Her condition?
She had been shot once in the chest at close range, as was indicated by the powder residue around the entry wound.
Was she alive at that time?
The paramedics were unable to revive her, and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
Detective, were you able to recover a weapon?
Yes. From the floor of the same room, several feet away from Mrs. Armbruster, I recovered a .38 special revolver, registered to the defendant. Gun residue tests revealed that he had fired the weapon.
And in the course of your investigation, did you determine if anyone had witnessed the shooting?
Yes. The victim's son, Gary Armbrust, had been present and gave a full account of events.
What did you do at that time?
I placed the defendant under arrest for murder. His shirt was splattered with blood, and that was sent to the crime lab for testing and analysis along with the gun.
So you spoke to and had an opportunity to observe Gary Armbrust at the scene?
Yes.
And according to your report, you observed his eyes to be bloodshot and his speech to be slightly slurred.
He had just witnessed his mother's murder. He had been crying and was extremely upset.
These symptoms are also consistent with someone under the influence of drugs, correct?
Sometimes, yes. But he didn't appear to me to be under the influence of anything other than grief.
He was never drug tested?
No.
And Gary Armbrust's account of these events played an instrumental role in your decision to arrest his father for murder?
Yes.
Here it is. There's a VCR up here, too. Must be on some kind of timer. We should just leave it as is and show the police. Check out the rest of the apartment. In the meantime, is there another place that you can stay? Lucy?
What?
Is there someplace else that you can stay?
Yeah, with my dad.
And you have no idea who could be doing this?
No.
Okay, look, I know you don't want anybody else to find out, but I'd like to bring in Eugene and Lindsay.
No.
Lucy.
I don't want them all to know, Bobby.
It'll stay within the firm. Lindsay's pretty up to speed on computers, and I'll need Eugene to knock on some doors. Let us help you.
Charlotte was my closest friend. I knew he was going to do something like this.
Why do you say that, Mrs. Ronish?
Their marriage was falling apart. She was planning to leave Gordon, and his ego couldn't take it.
Objection. Sustained.
Did you ever hear the defendant threaten her?
Yes. About a week before her death, I stopped by their house to pick Charlotte up for a yoga class. She hated that class because she didn't think it was really exercise.
I know this is difficult, Mrs. Ronish, but we need to know about the threat.
I'm sorry. Yes, well, when I got there, no one answered the door. So I opened it a little to call for Charlotte because I knew she was expecting me.
What did you see at that time?
Gordon was holding Charlotte's arm. She was trying to pull away. And he said that if she left him, she wouldn't even live long enough to regret it.
More accurately, Gordon said that he didn't want her to leave him and their son, whom he believed had a drug problem and needed both parents.
Well, yes, that's true, but it was still a threat.
And you were so concerned the threat you overheard might be real that you immediately contacted the police.
No. That was my mistake.
Miss Gamble.
Hi, Gary. How you doing?
I guess I'm okay. I need to talk to you about my testimony.
Well, you want to come back to my office and we can run through the questions again?
No, that's all right. It's just that...
What is it?
Look, I don't really know how to say this, but part of what I told you isn't true.
Which part?
The part about my father murdering my mother. I lied. It was an accident.
Then why did you tell the police it was murder?
I don't know. I was angry.
You need to do better than that.
My father and I were in this fight. He was so paranoid, thinking I was using drugs. I finally got fed up.
Your father's fingerprints are on that gun, not yours.
I had flipped out. I guess he thought I was going to attack him or something because he went and grabbed the gun he kept in the end table.
Your own father pulled a gun on you?
Yeah. And then I charged him, and that's when the gun went off.
If that's the truth, why would you have even accused him in the first place?
I guess I was kind of in shock. And I thought that if he went away for this, then maybe he'd finally be out of my life.
You really expect me to believe this?
I know it sounds crazy, but that's what was going through my head.
Yes, and why would you wait till now to change your story?
I just couldn't go through with it. And this is not a story. This is the truth. I was there, you weren't.
But I was at the preliminary hearing where you testified that your father shot your mother.
And that wasn't the truth.
Have you talked to your dad recently?
No.
Look, I understand you might not want to send your dad to prison,
But he didn't do it. I did.
You don't have to watch it, Lindsay.
I'm just trying to find out how many websites it's been uploaded onto.
Wait, you mean that there's more?
I'm afraid you're pretty popular.
How many times did you watch it, Jimmy?
Not too many.
Helen, are we on for lunch?
No, I actually came to sort of hire a lawyer. Eleanor. Basically, he's recanting now to save his dad, which, since he could now face perjury, makes me think he needs his own lawyer.
And the reason you want it to be me?
I want you to scare him, make him realize how serious perjury is.
Well, Helen, if I represent this kid, I'd be working for him, not you.
I realize that. I just want him to hear the legal consequences of recanting from a defense attorney. His best interests are also mine.
And you don't think he's telling the truth now?
No way. His story has been completely consistent up until now. His statement to the police and the preliminary testimony corroborate the physical evidence. This case is tight. We at least talk to him.
Locks have not been tampered with, no sign of break-ins with the windows.
What about from above the shower where the VCR was?
A secured crawl space. This was done by somebody with access. You had any parties, Lucy? Friends over?
I have friends over sometimes, but
What about that Boston Celtic guy? Basketball players. What's his name? Hot Rod?
Rodman?
What about friends?
none of my friends would have planted a camera.
New case. No money. It's a favor. Commonwealth thanks you.
Oh, my God.
Now what?
It isn't you. It's Jimmy.
What?
I just tapped into the Boston Buff website to see if we were listed. Damn, I lost it.
What's Boston Buff?
The Boston Buff Society, court buffs. They're basically retired people who follow trials, and they rank lawyers. Here it is. Seems like they're into gossip now. Attorney James Berluti has been making a little chamber music with Judge Roberta Kittleson.
What? That's ridiculous. That's trick photography.
Jimmy, in my office.
Our own witness is now backing my client's story. Miss Gamble's the only one saying that he's guilty.
He's changing his story out of some warped sense of loyalty to his father.
Helen, he was your whole case, and now you've lost him.
Do you have any additional witnesses?
I don't need any. Gary Armbor's testimony is coming in just like it did at the prelim.
Wait, what am I missing here?
If he takes a stand and changes his story, I will charge him with perjury.
That is extortion.
No, it's called leverage to protect against witness manipulation.
The only one manipulating here is you.
Look, you can cross the kid however you want, but she can certainly call him.
What if I just plead the fifth?
Well, you can do that, but it really won't help your dad. If you plead the Fifth Amendment, it basically means your testimony is unavailable, which means the DA can then introduce your testimony from the prelim.
And you're saying that if I change my story, she can put me in jail?
It's a very real possibility, yes.
What do you think I should do?
Well, I would normally advise you to tell the truth. But if the truth is something different than what you said at the prelim, telling the truth would expose you to perjury charges.
He's my dad. He just got angry, you know,
Gary, if he's a murderer, me, I'd ditch the sentiment and save myself.
He's my dad.
You're sleeping with her.
It's my own private life.
Not anymore. It's on the internet. Jimmy, she's a client.
Was a client. It started after her case.
She's also a wacko. Did you know that?
She's not a wacko.
Jimmy, she is.
She's a great judge. One affair with a clerk doesn't make her...
She pulled me into chambers and told me she was having erotic dreams about me.
What?
Yes. While I was in trial with her, she calls me into chambers and tells me she's having sexual fantasies about me. Then she hit on me. Jimmy, she has OCD. Oral compulsive disorder.
Hey, look, I don't know what happened with you, but me and her, we're consenting adults. We're consenting adults.
More? She's been through half the Massachusetts bar.
Hey.
Isn't she a little, what's the word? Old? Yeah, old. Isn't she a little old for you? Didn't even take his coat.
If called, he will testify that it was an accident.
He understands. I'll then have him arrested for perjury.
He understands. Timely recantation. It's possible he can beat perjury.
You tell him that?
Helen, he's my client. I'm sorry.
Eleanor, you tell him he's afraid of the wrong person. He's afraid of his father. He should be afraid of me because he'll do time.
Helen.
I won't let him do this.
Easy.
I'm calling him, Eleanor. I'm putting him up there.
Any new developments?
I'll give you voluntary manslaughter.
You should be dismissing.
I've got threats, fingerprints, residue, trace metal.
Yeah, but if the boy's saying accident...
How do you know what he'll say? Have you been tampering with a witness, Arnold?
Well, I'm assuming he's not going to say self-inflicted, Helen. What else does that leave?
Voluntary manslaughter. Take it or leave it.
Leave it.
Don't you dare just barge in on me like this.
Just tell me, yes or no?
To which question? Did I have a dream about Bobby? Yes. So what?
What about the other... How many lawyers have you been with?
That is certainly none of your business. You want to tell me how many women you've been with?
You heard of the Boston court buffs?
Of course I've heard of them. They fill half the room sometimes.
Well, they got a website with a program. It talks about you and me. It's got a picture of you and me on the elevator. It also has headshots of other lawyers you've been with, they say sexually.
What do you mean it's got a picture?
There must be some security camera on the elevator. How they got access, who knows, but...
There's a picture of you and me?
Kissing. And there's pictures of other lawyers, just headshots, but it says you've been with them.
This is on the internet.
Yeah.
What else does it say?
I don't know. I didn't really want to look. I came right over here.
Got a picture of you and me kissing.
From the elevator.
Well, how do I find this website?
I don't know. Lindsay found it.
What's her number?
She's probably home by now.
What's her number?
I'm not online here, Jimmy. Can I tell her tomorrow? I don't know. I had to find it. Look, I'll give it to her first thing, okay? He told Judge Kittleson.
Big mistake.
Meanwhile, in the Armbrust murder trial, rumors that the chief prosecutorial witness is changing his story. If true, the prosecution may be in trouble.
Great.
You'll recall Gary Armbrust was the one who identified his own father as the killer. Now it seems he's prepared to testify it was an accident.
Oh, God,
I
look
wonder
at what
why
they've
District
done.
Attorney
How could
Helen
they do
Gamble
that
is
to
even
me?
planning
All right,
to
relax.
continue on with
Relax?
the case.
You relax. I'm about to lose a murder, and now they've got me looking like Leona Helmsley meets the Wicked Witch. I'm not going to lose this. I'm not losing this.
Oh, no. Not again.
I'm screwed. If I call him, I'm dead. If I don't...
What are you gonna do? Do you know?
Miss Gamble, call your next witness. Miss Gamble?
The Commonwealth calls Gary Armbrust.
Members of the jury, the witness will be accompanied by his own attorney for the purposes of his testimony. You are to consider only what the witness offers as evidence, and you are to draw no conclusions whatsoever out of the fact that he has a lawyer with him.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Gary Armbrust.
Gary, the oath you just took, you understand the meaning of it, do you not?
I do.
You understand that you testify today under the pains and penalties of perjury, do you?
Objection! She's trying to intimidate this witness.
I'm merely making sure the witness understands his obligation to tell the truth.
Well, given that the witness has a lawyer sitting with him, I think we're safe, Miss Campbell.
Your own father is the defendant, is that correct?
Yes.
And it was your mother who was shot and killed, also correct?
Yes.
Were you present when your mother was shot?
Yes, I was.
And you observed your father shoot your mother as you were standing in the doorway of the living room?
That's not how it happened.
Ask permission to treat the witness as hostile?
Objection.
Overruled.
Gary, do you recall testifying at the preliminary hearing for this case?
Yes, I do.
And you swore to tell the truth?
Yes.
And at that time, do you recall being asked the following question and giving the following answer? Page 4. Question. What did you observe? Answer. I heard my father screaming at my mother. I went to the living room door, and that's when I saw him shoot her in the chest.
That's what I said, but it wasn't...
You've answered the question. Thank you.
But it wasn't true.
Move to strike non-responsive.
If it wasn't true, what really happened?
I was angry. My father pulled the gun on me. Then I basically attacked him.
You attacked him?
We didn't have the greatest relationship. I just kind of... It was during the struggle with me that the gun went off.
Well, why did you testify at the preliminary hearing that your father killed your mother?
Part of it was I was just covering my own ass for provoking my father to get the gun in the first place.
But if it was really an accident, why didn't you just tell the truth?
I was just so furious at him. I wasn't thinking clearly. Look, I'm sorry about all of this. I really am. And if you want to put me in jail, I can't stop you. But it really was an accident. You have to believe me.
Only one with a master key is the super, a guy by the name of Larry Conley. You know him?
Oh my God.
What?
Well, he always kind of looks at me funny, and a few weeks ago,
A few weeks ago, what?
he said that there was a leak in the downstairs apartment, and he needed to check my bathroom. It's gotta be him.
Lindsay, call the police, get a warrant, see if we can search this guy's...
Whoa. A warrant for what?
Let's search this guy's place.
Bobby, it's not so easy. He hasn't necessarily committed a crime.
Wait, what do you mean he hasn't committed a crime?
There was no sound on the video.
So?
The law prohibits intercepting audio communication, but silent videotaping isn't a crime.
Well, you gotta be kidding.
What?
This guy planted a camera in my bathroom. That's not a crime?
No.
All right. What about trespass?
The super with a master key, and you said he asked permission to go into your bathroom.
This guy planted a camera in my home.
I'm just saying, it isn't as easy as it looks.
It's got to be some way to nail him.
So this is what people think of me.
It's just a stupid website.
This goes into people's homes. Lawyers who appear before me, they've probably all seen this.
I'm sure some have, not all. Look, nobody believes this stuff.
You believed it. That's why you came running down here so angrily. You believed it.
Well, is it all true?
Some of it is, yes. I have been with some of these men. This is my private life.
Welcome to the information age, Judge.
This is evil. It's evil.
I was fighting with her.
Your wife?
Yes. And I was in an enraged state. I don't deny that. Then Gary came charging in, and he was enraged. In fact, he looked on something. That's why I got the gun.
You pulled a gun on your own son?
No. I was afraid, and I grabbed the gun in case I needed one.
And then what happened?
He and I started yelling at each other. Then he lunged at me. He tried to wrestle me to the ground. That's when the gun went off. And it hit Charlotte.
Gary attacked you.
Like I said, I think he was on something.
Why was there only blood on you?
Gary was on the other side of me. I was between him and his mother, and I'm larger than he is, so I guess I blocked him.
You're larger, yet you felt physically threatened by your son.
I thought he was under the influence of drugs, and I didn't know what he might do.
So it was self-defense?
No. It was an accident.
Well, you say you pulled the gun because you were afraid.
Yes. I was afraid. I was afraid that he might hurt me. So I grabbed the gun.
Afraid he'd physically assault you?
He did assault me. That's when the struggle took place, and the gun went off.
And it was an accident.
Asked and answered.
Did you tailor your story to fit your son's testimony?
Objection! No, I did not.
Your wife leave a will?
Yes.
Who inherits?
I guess I do, as well as my son.
Wow, accident. You both make out. Would you both plan this little witness for the prosecution stunt?
Objection.
You both conspire to kill her, setting him up as our witness?
Objection.
Sustained.
I got it.
What?
You pay your own utilities, right?
Yeah.
Theft of electricity. He plugged his equipment into your outlets. There's some case law. Theft of electricity.
That feels like a stretch.
It'll buy us a warrant. Get Eugene.
Mr. Lawrence Conley,
Yeah?
you're under arrest.
For what?
Theft of electricity and trespass.
What?
We have a search warrant.
Wait, what the hell's going on
He
here?
has rights.
What are you looking for? Stolen electricity?
You have the right to remain silent.
Bobby.
Remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney. Have the attorney present during questioning. If you so desire, not afford one. The attorney will be appointed before you.
Do me a favor, Mike. Will you have your boys search the bedroom? Bedroom.
Now.
Now, can you look away?
5 seconds. Don't hurt him.
She's a teenager and a friend of mine. Sick back.
Okay, Bobby.
I said, okay, Bobby. There were security tapes.
We'll take it from here.
Basically, I've got two choices. I can argue believe his testimony at the prelim, but they've got reasonable doubt, or I can argue some witness for the prosecution theory, which, who knows? It could be that. Things have certainly worked out for them.
Witness for the prosecution?
We relied on the son, Mark. He changes his testimony at trial, instant reasonable doubt.
With the threat of perjury?
He won't do much for that. We both know that. So does he. If the recanting is ruled timely, he could get off altogether, which his lawyer told him. I've lost another murderer. I can't believe this. First, I lose a guy who dices up a nun. Now I'm in...
Can you recall forensics? Prove it couldn't have happened the way they're saying?
I can't prove it. Not beyond a reasonable doubt. I can't believe this.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go witness for the prosecution. It's too desperate, and I think it's too late. Just give it your best shot.
There's got to be a way. I'm gonna find a way.
A 100 tapes?
He had other cameras planted in other places.
So he has videos of me doing everything?
I've arranged to have them destroyed.
But they could have already been uploaded on websites.
Yes.
Will he go to jail?
He's being arraigned today. I told Jimmy to cover it. But, Lucy, the law, stealing electricity, maybe trespass, he won't do any time. Hey.
What if my father...
You said he doesn't own a computer.
Yeah, but what if somebody makes a tape off the computer and...
Look, you did nothing wrong.
Well, can I sue him?
Well, we could, but he's pretty judgment-proof. He did lose his job. I mean, that's something.
Okay. I should get back to work.
You want to take the day off?
And do what? Go home? I'm fine. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. I'm totally fine.
Lucy, the reason you feel so violated is because you have been. And this is no time to play tough. Look at me. Maybe this isn't the equivalent to rape, but that man took your privacy from you. And it's not nothing. It wouldn't be a bad idea to get some counseling.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea to lean on people here a little.
It's just that I feel like...
Two different versions from the same witness. How can you know which one is true? The state will probably stand up here in a few minutes and try to convince you that Gary Armbrust suddenly felt bad, didn't want to see his father convicted, decided to change his story. Now, you heard Miss Gamble toss out witness for the prosecution. They did it together for the insurance. Now, that theory came at the 11th hour, didn't it? Why? Desperation. Because the only eyewitness told you it was an accident. Told you he attacked the defendant, causing the gun to go off. Do I really need to be standing up here arguing reasonable doubt? The state wants you to believe Gary Armbrust is truthful when he says one thing, but he has no credibility when he's saying another. You can't have it both ways.
Yes, we have two versions now from one witness. It's up to you to weigh the credibility and circumstances of each. You're free to discredit the recantation and find that the truth lies in his original accusation. And I'll tell you why you should. Gary told the officers at the scene that his father murdered his mother. He said that they had a bitter argument, she threatened to leave him, and he shot her point blank in the chest. Now, Gary testified to the same facts under oath at the preliminary hearing. Not one inconsistency in any of the details. Every last bit of his account was consistent with every piece of physical evidence. Then suddenly, just as the trial begins, he has a change of heart. And I guess we can understand. He's already lost his mother. He doesn't want to lose his father, does he? And, well, maybe he's found a way to even forgive his dad. But we can't. A woman is dead. Charlotte Armbrust deserves to have us stand up for the truth, even if her son no longer can. Charlotte doesn't have a voice anymore. You do. We all know what happened. Prints only belonging to the defendant. Blood spattered only on the defendant. We have the threats. That man committed murder. And his son?
Well, he suddenly decided he wants him to get away with it. Do you?
(32623) Commonwealth versus Conley, trespass, theft of electricity.
Robert Olson for the defendant.
Theft of electricity? Are they prosecuting that these days?
Your Honor, the defendant is a superintendent at an apartment complex. He installed cameras to tape one of the dwellers, then he uploaded her naked images on the internet. Theft of electricity...
Hold on a second. Well, Mr. Connolly. Did you get the wrong judge at it? Did you have fun invading a young woman's privacy?
Excuse me, Your Honor?
Counsel, you speak when I ask you to. Uploading her naked images on the internet? Funny, I just discovered things about me on the internet. Maybe there's stuff about all of us. Who knows? Take off your pants.
Your Honor!
Bailiff, would you please take Mr. Olson into custody? He is in contempt.
What?
You want another chance? Then shut your mouth. Mr. Connolly, drop your pants right now, or I will add contempt to your charges, and you will go straight to a jail cell. I am going to count to 3. 1, 2... No underwear. Figures. And nothing much else, I might add. Do you feel violated, Mr. Connolly? Exposed? How does it feel? Would you turn around and face the gallery? Show them what you haven't got.
Your Honor, even I have to say, this is a little bit irregular.
Tough! Turn around, Mr. Connolly. Take Mr. Connolly. Put him in jail. We can arraign him again tomorrow. Would you call the next case, please? Leave your pants right there. At your ankles.
Case number 32624, Commonwealth versus Waterman, criminal violation, illegal disposal of toxic waste.
That was different.
Imagine his luck. Getting me for a judge. Of all days.
You okay?
I am so... You know, I am no prude. I would have no problems taking the bench, naked, so long as it were my choice. But to be...
Well, hopefully the laws on internet stuff will start to change. Maybe the test case will come before you.
It did bother you reading all that stuff, didn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, but, you know, it's my mother's influence. In the back of my mind, I guess I was still hoping you were a virgin.
Yes, we know you thought that. Thank you.
For what?
For being there. It helped.
Well, whatever I could do.
Will the defendant please rise? Mr. Foreman, has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
What say you?
Commonwealth versus Gordon Armbrust on the count of murder in the second degree. We find the defendant, Gordon Armbrust, not guilty.
Defendant is free to go. Jury is dismissed with the thanks of the court. We are adjourned.
Armbrust, you're under arrest for the murder of Charlotte Armbrust.
What?
You have the right to remain silent.
We know his right. What's going on here?
Take him away.
Helen.
By his own testimony, as well as his father's, the gun went off when he attacked his father. Felony assault. Accidental shooting or not, felony murder rule applies.
What is she talking about?
You're looking at an automatic life sentence, Gary. That's what I'm talking about.
Helen, come on.
I told you, Eleanor. I told you he should be more afraid of me than his father.
This is an overreaction.
Life sentence, Gary. Go celebrate, Dad.
Previously on the practice.
I was at the preliminary hearing where you testified that your father shot your mother.
And that wasn't the truth.
Why would you wait till now to change your story?
I just couldn't go through with it. What do you think I should do?
Well, I would normally advise you to tell the truth. But if the truth is something different than what you said at the prelim, telling the truth would expose you to perjury charges.
He's my dad.
If it wasn't true, what really happened?
I was angry. My father pulled the gun on me, then I basically attacked him. Look, I'm sorry about all of this, but it really was an accident.
We find the defendant, Gordon Armbrust, not guilty.
Gary Armbrust, you're under arrest for the murder of Charlotte Armbrust.
What? What's going on here?
By his own testimony, as well as his father's, the gun went off when he attacked his father. Accidental shooting or not, felony murder rule applies.
What is she talking about?
You're looking at an automatic life sentence, Gary. That's what I'm talking about.
Is this true? Can I get life? Tell me! What the hell is going on?
Basically, felony murder. If in the commission of a felony, murder happens, they can get you for murder even if it's accidental. Intent doesn't matter.
Well, what was my felony?
Your attack on your father. The DA's calling it aggravated, which brings it up to felony, which means she can push through with felony murder. It's completely bogus, Gary. She is punishing you for refusing to testify against your dad.
Well, can this stick?
I'm bringing a motion to have it kicked, and I hope the judge...
Why didn't you tell me that they could do this?
It's an outrageous charge. She is angry.
You told me that I was facing perjury, Eleanor. That's what you said. And now I'm going up on murder. Why didn't you tell me?
I'm gonna take care of it. She knows you didn't commit the crime. It is completely punitive. I'm going to take care of it.
Forget it.
Come on, Helen, you
Your
know
kid
this-
made a choice, Eleanor.
My kid? I took him at your request to advise him against perjury. You never threw out the possibility of felony murder.
Because I hadn't thought of it then.
This is prosecutorial misconduct, and you know it.
Eleanor, bring your motion. I'm not letting him go.
Helen, listen to the sound of your voice. You've lost your way.
Somebody was murdered. Somebody's gonna pay for it. That's my way.
She's not crazy. She's just a little motivated.
So, we're continuing on with the kid? Well, I guess I'm still his lawyer. This is a nightmare.
Anybody want an attempted murder? I got Sybil Boyle from the PD's office. They got a guy who's fired 6 lawyers. Trial starts tomorrow. They're looking to Lou Jack.
Tell him thanks, but no thanks.
I'll do it. Attempted murder beats paperwork.
You know, Rebecca, when you were office administrator, you'd kick and scream at all the pro bono stuff. Now that you're a lawyer.
Like you all say, it's good experience.
Well, I got her on hold here.
Tell her I'll do it.
Okay.
She was convinced she'd look better with higher cheekbones. I thought it ridiculous, but...
But your wife wanted them.
Yes. So she went in to get implants. They told us it would be pretty routine.
They being?
Dr. Leach and the others at the hospital. She went in on a Monday, had the surgery on Tuesday, and came home that day.
And everything seemed okay?
Well, she was swollen and in some pain, but they gave her medication. Everything seemed okay until Wednesday night.
What happened then, sir?
She complained about having a fever, and then suddenly just blacks out. I called 911, and the paramedics came. They said she had no pulse. They brought out those shock paddle things and started jolting her. And then they stopped. She was gone.
Did Dr. Leach offer any explanation?
He said she got an infection.
From the operation?
He didn't know. He said she could have gotten it at the hospital or she could have gotten it at home. He said these things happen sometimes.
But you believe Dr. Leach did something wrong?
Yes.
Why, Mr. Minor?
The way he told me, the way he cut our conversation short ever since, the way he wouldn't talk anymore. He did something wrong.
Mr. Little, my name is Rebecca Washington. I'm your new lawyer. I understand you've had some difficulty with your 6 previous lawyers. Anything in particular they got wrong? I'd like to get a head start.
I didn't like him.
Okay, well, since your trial starts tomorrow, I need to get up to speed. So, according to the officers, you fired a revolver at them. Did that happen?
No.
Okay, 2 officers are testifying it did. Do we have anybody on your side to say it didn't?
No.
Okay.
This charge is clearly punitive. The district attorney has no good faith belief that the defendant is guilty of felony murder.
Defense counsel has no foundation to evaluate my good faith belief.
She was prosecuting the father for murder.
The defendant admitted to attacking his father, causing the gun to go off.
But you don't believe that, Helen.
Again,
you
you're a
argued to
mind
the jury.
reader.
No, I have ears. You stood in front of the jury and you said that Gary Armbrust was making this whole thing up to spare his father a life sentence.
Counsel, these are questions of fact. The boy stated under oath he assaulted his father. That's enough for me to hold him.
Even assuming that to be true, felony murder still doesn't apply. That law was designed for robberies or kidnappings, rapes, felonies for which it is foreseeable that a murder could result.
You charge a man with a gun, it's foreseeable it could go off.
I would also remind the court of the merger doctrine. The Felony Act has to be independent of the killing for a felony murder to apply. Here, it was the alleged felony itself that caused the death.
Massachusetts has never recognized the merger doctrine.
Can I finish?
Actually, you have. I'm denying the motion to dismiss. Charges stand. The defendant will be held without bail. We can conference Wednesday to set a trial date.
This is a railroad.
What? Excuse me?
This boy is being charged with a crime we all know he didn't commit.
Well, next time he should think better of confessing. Next case.
She had gone into septic shock. That led to full cardiac arrest, which ultimately was the cause of death.
And doctor, do you have an opinion as to what caused Mrs. Minor to go into septic shock?
The blood tests show a massive infection caused by Streptococcus bacteria. This would explain why her fever spiked.
And doctor, do you have an opinion as to how Mrs. Minor became exposed to this bacteria?
It had to happen during her cheekbone implant operation. The likelihood is there was some contamination in the operating room.
You can establish that for a fact?
Well, we can't say it to a medical certainty, but since all other explanations have been eliminated,
No autopsy was done on the patient, was there, Doctor?
No, and there should have been.
Well, without an autopsy, we can never really know for sure what killed Mrs. Minor, can we?
When a post-operative patient goes into septic shock, within 48
Move
hours
to strike,
of the
non-responsive.
operation,
Move to strike. Overruled.
People should not die from cosmetic surgery.
Did you ever examine Mrs. Minor, Dr. Reynolds?
No.
You ever meet her?
No.
Ever see her body after the death?
No, but that has...
You answered the question, sir. Are you being paid for today's testimony?
Objection.
Overruled. Are you being paid, sir?
Yes.
How much?
$7,500.
How many court cases do you testify in per year, do you?
Objection. This is completely irrelevant.
I'll allow it. How many cases, sir?
I have no idea.
More than 50?
Probably.
In fact, that's what you do, isn't it? You're a hired gun who goes from courthouse to courthouse. You're on every plaintiff attorney's list, aren't you?
Objection!
Sustained. You have no evidence that my client did anything negligent, do you, sir?
When one of his patients dies...
Please answer the question. I'm not asking for any assumptions. You cannot point to any specific incidents of negligence with respect to Dr. Leach, can you?
No, I wasn't in the room.
Thank you, Doctor.
I was going to visit a friend.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then?
I heard shots. I ran. They grabbed me. What, that's not in there? Those other 6 lawyers didn't take notes?
The police said you...
I know what they said. Didn't happen.
Okay. The friend you went to see, you never saw him?
I had the wrong address.
Okay, can you tell me anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I want you to think about something. That building was dark. The police were shooting. Self-defense is a possible option.
I said I didn't do it. Are you deaf? Are you deaf?
No, I'm not deaf. Please don't scream at me. Given your felony record, my plan is not to have you testify. If you take the stand, all your priors can come into evidence. So for now, I don't plan to put you in the witness chair.
Thank you for seeing me. I thought if we all got in a room, I think we can all agree there's been a certain level of frustration at work here.
Why are you frustrated, Mr. Hunter? You got an acquittal for your client.
Yes. If you proceed to try Gary for felony murder, that would obviously be pretty disturbing for Gordon. And who knows, he might even get up there and testify that he shot his wife of his own accord. No provocation from Gary.
In which case, I go after him for perjury.
This really is not about threats. I came in here to make an offer. Certainly, if Gordon did give that testimony, implicating himself in a crime for which he's already been acquitted, then double jeopardy would mean...
Get out.
Here is the offer. Gordon will accept a year on a perjury charge. I'm sure Miss Frutt can convince Gary to accept a one-year sentence also on perjury. That means no one walks off free, and the public and you can feel some sense of vindication.
How dare you come in here and even suggest that?
Helen.
And you.
Look, I didn't know what he was going to say. He's the guy you want. A year is better than nothing.
Your guy's getting life, Eleanor. Life. As for you, I'll figure something out.
You're not going to figure
Get
any-
out, Mr.
What?
Hunter.
I am making an offer.
I said get out!
Can I talk to you outside of this case for a second?
No.
You could destroy yourself with this. Don't let that...
Eleanor, please leave.
There was some kind of panic.
By panic, you mean?
Dr. Leach came rushing in. It was about 20 minutes after the call that Mrs. Minor was dead. He huddled up with Dr. Morganson, Chief of Staff.
Did you hear what was being said?
Objection, hearsay.
Excited utterance?
I'll allow it.
What did you hear, Mrs. Henderson?
Well, Dr. Morganson was already upset over another patient who died. It's not like him to become animated, but he was here. He was demanding lists of surgical teams, and he wanted an M&M conference that very night.
What's an M&M conference?
It's a mortality and morbidity conference. Doctors convene secretly to discuss the cause of death of patients, often for unexplained deaths.
Do you know the results of this meeting?
No, the contents are secret. Nobody but the doctors ever finds out what goes on in there.
Thank you.
Gee, you make it sound like a big conspiracy. M&M conferences are routinely held at hospitals, aren't they, Nurse Henderson?
Yes, but this was...
Thank you. And one of the reasons that they have these meetings, among others, is so that doctors can freely swap information to learn. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
They have these meetings whether things go wrong or not.
They seem to have this one in a hurry.
Well, is it possible Dr. Leach was upset about the death and he wanted to find out quickly if something went wrong? Is that possible?
Yes.
And here you are, presenting a doctor's concern about his patients as something incriminating?
Doctors have two kinds of expressions. One is concern for the patients. The other is concern over liability. This seemed to be the latter.
So, you based today's testimony on your ability to read an expression.
I was there, Mr. Walton. Something was wrong.
But you weren't in that operating room, were you, Mrs. Henderson?
No, I wasn't.
Thank you.
We had driven into the middle of a gang shootout. We pursued several suspects on foot into an apartment complex. We entered into a lobby area and we became immediately under fire.
Did you see who was firing at you?
That man.
Just a little.
Judge, this man is lying.
Your attorney will have opportunity to cross-examine. You will remain quiet.
What happened next, officer?
We returned fire, at which point he dropped his gun and began to run for the stairwell. We entered the stairwell. We encountered him coming down. We told him to freeze. He took off up the stairs. We pursued him and caught him and placed him under arrest.
I never had a gun. Mr. Little. I never had a gun. I wasn't even on that balcony. I was just going down the stairs. Take him out. Take him out. People like you need to respect this room. This isn't the street in here. You don't get away with that. Miss Washington, I'll see you in chambers. Mr. Thompson, you too. You've got yourself a problem, young lady.
Yes, Your Honor, and for the record, I don't think you handled that too deftly.
What should I have done? Asked him about his childhood? His mother? So here's your problem. In addition to his general scumhood, his yelling in court, in my mind, is the equivalent to testimony. The DA is now free to cross-examine him.
Just hold on a second.
He yelled that he was not on the balcony and that the officer was lying. That's testimony.
But he wasn't under oath.
The jury heard him.
If you force him to take the stand, all his priors can be admitted.
Well, isn't that tragic?
Your Honor, at this point, I don't want to cross-examine. Now, this case is pretty straight for us. The last thing I want to do is give them grounds for appeal. And you forcing him to take the stand?
Well, that's your call. But for the rest of the trial, his hands are cuffed to the chair and his mouth is taped.
Your Honor, that would be so prejudicial.
It's not up for debate.
When I learned she had died, I, of course, was devastated. In addition to being my patient, Mrs. Minor was an extraordinary person. We were all quite fond of her.
Dr. Leach, what happened?
I don't know. We've been through the procedure over and over and over. Everything went according to plan. Nothing indicated...
You've heard the suggestion that Mrs. Minor may have picked up the infection during this procedure.
The room was sterile, Mr. Walton. Whatever happened to Mrs. Minor, it didn't happen in that room.
Well, could she have gotten the infection elsewhere?
I don't know what happened after she left the hospital. What happened at her home. My dialogue with Mr. Minor stopped at that point, so... all I can tell you, whatever caused her to die, it didn't happen in that room. Sometimes people die, Mr. Minor. And sometimes there's no explanation as to why.
People don't just die.
Mr. Minor.
They don't just die.
Mr. Minor. Doctor, please don't address the plaintiff.
This judge isn't going to go for any of that stuff. You have to stay quiet. We're lucky the DA didn't take him up on his offer and put you in the chair to be crossed. Can you at least look at me? If your prior felonies come out, you can forget it. You got 2 assaults, 1 with a deadly weapon. That's all the jury needs to hear. Now, I'd like to take a shot with a plea. If we can get 8 years, I think we should take it.
You're still deaf.
Byron, I'm not saying you did it, but with the evidence...
I did do it! Bitch! You stupid bitch! You're just like the rest of them. But I bet you hear me now, huh? I bet you hear me now. Come here. Come here. Get off of me. Get off of me. Get off. Get off of me.
Hey,
Don't start.
I'm gonna start.
Lindsay.
Just listen first, okay? Then I'll shut up. You don't believe that kid had anything to do with the murder. You're punishing him because he screwed up the prosecution of the father, and in part, you're punishing Eleanor for not convincing him to stick to the truth. You're coming from anger.
Don't tell me what...
I will tell you, because I saw it. I know what happened to you when you lost that nun killer. And I could see what was happening when this case started to go south, and I see you now. And I know how this thing will play out. If you try him on felony murder, he's going to stand up and tell the real truth, which will be consistent with his statement to the cops and his testimony at the prelim. You will never get past reasonable doubt, and you'll be stuck going after him for perjury 6 months from now. Drop the felony murder. Let him cop to the perjury now.
then go to the gym and hit the heavy bag. It's the only thing you can really do. Helen?
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Do what?
This job.
Helen, this is just a couple of fluke cases. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Why did you schedule an M&M conference the very night Mrs. Minor died?
Because, as I explained, her death upset me. I wanted to make sure we didn't cause it.
Did you?
No.
That was the conclusion reached in the M&M conference?
Objection. Those meetings are sealed. Counsel is trying to get the witness to waive the privilege
If it's no, it's no.
I object to the trick. He knows the meetings are secret. He's trying to exploit the secrecy to make us look like we're hiding something.
Are you a fortune teller now?
All right. Sustained. Mr. Donald, continue.
You wanted the meeting that night because you were urgent to find out what happened.
Yes.
Did you recommend to Mr. Minor that you do an autopsy?
He didn't seem to want that.
My question is, did you recommend it?
I don't think I did.
In fact, didn't you say to Mr. Minor and his daughter, we can do an autopsy if you want, but it won't bring her back? Weren't those your very words?
I don't remember, but it's possible I said that.
Sounds almost like you were discouraging an autopsy.
The blood work reveals she died of a bacterial infection. We didn't
But you
feel
didn't
that there was
know
any...
that at the time you discouraged the autopsy.
I didn't discourage it. I just didn't push for it.
You didn't push for it. That doesn't go with this urgency to find out what happened. Was the urgency to conceal what happened?
No, that isn't what
Why
happened.
was Dr. Morganson so upset? Did he know Mrs. Minor?
He was upset because another patient had died. And this news on top
He
of that...
knew something went wrong, didn't he?
Objection.
Patients don't just die from cheek implants, do they, Dr. Lee?
Objection.
Something went wrong.
Mr. Donald.
You say you want to know what happened, but you don't urge an autopsy. There's a late-night secret meeting.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Mr. Donald, that's enough.
Is it your testimony that you have no idea how she got this fatal infection?
That's my testimony.
He pleads to perjury. We go right to sentencing today.
I'd want to be heard.
You can be heard, but...
Why rush it? We might as well...
We do it now, or there's no deal. It's just, I want this to be over. And you should want it to be over, too. Because the longer I live with it, the angrier I... There's an offer before you. Take it or not.
And what would I get for perjury? It's discretionary, but I think I can make a pretty decent argument to the judge. And we have to decide today? There is really no decision, Gary. If we don't plead to the perjury, then the felony murder charge doesn't get dropped, and we can't risk that. They've got you dead to right on perjury anyway, so there's no real reason not to jump at this. Why do the sentencing today? The DA wants to put this behind her, and so do you. Now, there's a chance we can get you out of here, so let's just do it. Okay.
I fired several shots, at which point he dropped the gun and ran into the stairway.
The defendant?
Yes. We then entered the stairway on the lobby floor, met him coming down. He started going back up, but we caught him.
You say he started shooting at you as soon as you entered the lobby,
That's correct.
and you immediately returned fire.
Yes.
At which point he dropped the gun and ran into the stairwell.
Yes.
Any prints on the gun?
None that were usable.
The look you got of him on the balcony, that was 3-4 seconds,
I suppose that's about right.
with a gun barrel pointed in your direction.
Yes.
And the stairway was behind him. Is that not right?
Yes.
So he turned and ran with his back toward you.
I suppose.
You suppose? Did he backpedal or did he turn and run?
He turned and ran.
And how were the lights up there on the balcony?
We got a good look at him.
It was dark, wasn't it?
We saw his face.
You say we like you're speaking for Officer Gibson. Did you two go over your testimony?
Objection.
Sustained.
You said in your statement there may have been others on the balcony, but it was too dark to tell. Was that your statement?
Yes, but we got a good look at him.
You don't settle down, Mr. Little, I'll remove you. Don't think I won't have you hauled right out of here.
Stanton, I'm Bobby Donald. I called. Our information shows that your daughter died on the same day. There's been testimony that the chief of staff was very upset about it. I'm not entitled to see her medical records without your permission.
And what does Carol's death have to do with your case?
Well, maybe nothing, but that's what I'd like to find out.
I'd like you to please leave, sir.
Mr. Stanton, a woman died here.
A woman died? That's why you're here? You're concerned about a woman's death? My daughter died, Mr. Donald. We're finally at a point where our lives have resumed, and you happily come along to dig it all up because of your deep concern over some... No, he's here about money. You think twice about whether we want this kind of visit? Our daughter was 19.
I'm just trying to represent some people with a claim against a hospital.
Carol! I'm so sorry. Carol's death was devastating. She was our only child. And the idea of reliving her death, it was just so...
How did she die?
She went in for minor surgery and got some post-op infection.
I want to find out how many people died in that hospital a week before and a week after. Get the names. Just listen, Lucy. Get the names and have Jimmy, Lindsay, and Eugene contact the families and find out how they died. And this has to be done now.
Rebecca. We may have a little bump here.
What do you mean, bump?
There was an internal police investigation regarding the shooting. I just found out about it, I promise you. Here's the report.
The shooting surrounding this arrest?
Yes. Officer Helms evidently once claimed he wounded the suspect on the balcony. Now, he's since backed off it, but blood was found on the balcony. The sample was lost.
Excuse me, lost?
I don't know what to say. If you want to move for a mistrial, I won't oppose.
We're not having any mistrial.
What?
We're late into it.
If the man on the balcony was wounded, then that clears Byron Little.
The officer said he was wrong about wounding him.
Oh, come on.
You expect me to throw out an entire trial
First of all, the state has a duty to turn over all exculpatory evidence. I'm just getting this report now.
He just got it.
Second, this is material. This completely affects how I would have cross-examined Officer Helms.
You can recall him.
And they say they lost the blood sample. I need time to investigate.
Look, counsel, they caught your man running down the stairway.
But he's been saying he wasn't the man on the balcony, and that blood may prove it.
How? The officer claims he did not wound the suspect. That means the blood is irrelevant. I'm not throwing out this trial.
You can't be serious.
Look, young lady, you may be used to having your clients freed on stunts and technicalities, but not in my court.
They withheld material evidence.
The trial goes on. You can recall the officer and recross him. That's all.
Did he lie under oath? Yes. Are there mitigating circumstances? Of course there are. His mother was murdered. He was turned into the star witness against his father, a father who he had an estranged relationship with, a father, as you can see by the psychiatric reports, Gary lived for his approval and rarely got it. Here he is, a kid with a drug history, emotionally unstable, being asked to put his dad away for life. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. The law insulates us from having to testify against a spouse. Well, a son's connection with a father can be just as powerful. Gary Armbrust isn't a bad kid, Your Honor. We all know that. He just couldn't go through with sending his dad to prison.
Yes. The law does protect spouses from giving testimony against each other. But there's no such immunity when it comes to father and son. And they don't get to just make up a law because in their minds the love is just as powerful. What's at stake here is the integrity of this process. He committed perjury. He lied under oath. And if we tolerate it, We have to consider the worst-case scenario. The day may come where witnesses lie to help free premeditated murderers. This case is the worst-case scenario. A murderer is walking free because the defendant committed perjury. Your Honor, you and I walk into this courtroom every day without clients. In essence, we work for the room. What he did to this room, and technicalities and Fourth Amendments, he killed her and stuffed her in a closet. He killed a nun.
Helen?
I'm sorry. He lied. We work for the room, Your Honor. We work for the room.
I did say once that I thought I wounded him, but I was wrong.
And what suddenly convinced you you were wrong?
When we caught him, he wasn't wounded, so I obviously was wrong.
Or maybe the man you shot at, the man shooting at you, was not the same man you chased in the stairwell.
No, it was him. I saw his face.
And what about the blood that was found?
That was old, dried blood.
In this report...
I first thought it was fresh, because in my excitement, I thought I wounded him. But it was old, dried blood that had been there.
And did you test this blood to determine...
Objection, relevance. Sustained.
Your Honor,
the jury will
testify there are
disregard
others
any
on the
mention
balcony.
of
The
blood. It
samples-
has no relevance whatsoever. Counsel, step up.
Those blood samples could exonerate my client. He can't know it's old blood, and the fact that those samples were somehow...
There will be no mention of blood. It's not relevant. And if you mention the police losing it, you buy yourself a jail cell.
I am just trying...
This trial will not be prevented by sleazy defense lawyering. I've had about enough of you already, damn it.
You need to take some time off.
Yeah. I'm not losing my mind, Lindsay.
You just mixed up defendants. You called the perjurer a nun killer, Helen. I'm worried about you. I mean, you've had this look in your eye lately and your voice. And... Will they give you some time off?
I think so. It's just not fair anymore.
What's not fair? Tell me what's not fair.
My sister has a radio.
Your sister has a radio?
She has a nice job at an insurance company. She gets to sit at a desk. And she plays her radio. She can hear music during the day. Just once, I'd like to turn up the radio in that room. Sing the bad days away. Sing away.
If I have to take you on vacation myself, I will. You definitely need some time off.
Four patients in 3 days. All routine surgeries, all dead from streptococcus sepsis. Your hospital had a bacteria.
4 cases does not constitute an outbreak.
All the same strain? In 3 days, and you don't tell him? He asks what happened, you just leave that out?
The other patients have privacy rights. I just can't reveal their case histories.
Is that what you're going to say when I recall you? $7 million today, or I notify the health marshal.
That kind of threat could get you a trip to the overseers.
I'll risk it. I'm tempted to call the district attorney. This borders on corporate murder. You had a lethal strain of bacteria killing patients, and you sat on it? The health marshal might close your doors to investigate it. $300,000 a day, that'll run you $2 to $3 million, and that's just in actuals. The long-term damage could be worse. That's probably why you concealed the outbreak in the first place. You were afraid the health marshal would move in. You'll pay the 7 today and be grateful, and I don't care how you split your policies.
You still haven't established negligence as to her cause of death.
I can establish a cover-up, and that's all I'll need, and we all know it.
I ask you what happened, and you look me in the eye and say, I don't know. You look me right in the eye.
Because of him, Arnold. We get sued for everything because of lawyers like him. Every patient that comes to the door, we have to look at as a potential plaintiff. There was nothing I could say after that could bring her back.
So why even volunteer the truth?
Yeah, sometimes we lie, Mr. Donnell.
Milton.
I'm talking in general. Lawsuits have driven the truth underground, Mr. Donnell.
Well, this one dug it up, didn't it?
I'll have to discuss all of this with the board before I get back to you.
You're authorized to settle.
Not at that amount.
Well, then go talk to them.
I thought he was a good man.
He probably is. That's what's so sad about it.
How did it happen that we can't trust the police? I mean, this is an institution that's supposed to protect us. I don't doubt these officers think Byron Little is the guy. They tackled him in the stairwell after they saw the man on the balcony run into the stairwell. It's completely reasonable to believe it must be the same guy. Hey, I did. I mean, one look at him. He looks like your typical urban criminal. He acts violent. And we all know our Honorable Your Honor thinks he's the guy, too. But mistakes and cover-ups, those are two very different things. One of the officers said he wounded the suspect. Blood was even found on the balcony, though it's been deemed irrelevant for the sake of this trial. But when they examined Mr. Little back at the police station, they found no wound. And suddenly the officer amends his account and says he must have missed. And they march into this court and positively identify him as the shooter. They see him 30 feet above on a darkened balcony for 3 seconds tops, all the while being shot at, and yet they're positive. Not it looked like him, not it was probably him, definitely him. How can that be? And why start hiding internal reports from the defense lawyers? Why forget to mention the blood? Why come in with all this absolute positive eyewitness accounts? Why forget to tell us, oh yeah, one of our officers who was so positive wasn't so positive before he changed his mind? Why not just be upfront with what you got? Why? Because without all that absolute positive stuff, they lose him. They lose the guy they think did it. And let's be fair, they lose so many. And I know it turns stomachs. It's turned our Honorable Your Honor stomach, so he thinks nothing now of taping criminal defendant mouths shut, handcuffing them, making them look guilty. Hey, it's his court. He's old. He's probably had enough, and he doesn't care. But the thing about juries, it tends to be their one and only time serving this process, so they tend to take it seriously and not just rush through it with a bunch of assumptions. And therein lies Byron Little's only hope. It's not with the police. It's not with our Honorable Your Honor. It's with you. You have two choices here. You can hold up the oath you took at the beginning of all this, or not. Maybe guys like this, we're not supposed to care.
2 eyewitnesses saw him shoot the gun, saw him run into the stairwell. They pursued him into the stairwell and caught him. Sometimes we just want things to be all juicy and complicated when they're not.
I am mindful of how difficult it must be to be faced with testifying against one's own father, especially when that testimony could result in life imprisonment. But I am also mindful of the court's need to assure the integrity of this criminal justice process. Perjury is to be taken very, very seriously. I know you know this. I know you were apprised of the risks. Nevertheless, you chose to assume those risks. In fact, given these warnings, your commission of perjury was particularly knowing. I sentence you to 20 years at Cedar Junction. The sentence is to begin immediately. Bailiff, we're adjourned.
We'll appeal. Gary, I want you to hang in there. We're going to appeal. We're going to appeal.
How'd it go?
Not good.
Tell me.
He's just a kid. He got afraid at the last second. He didn't want to hurt his dad.
What'd he get?
Maximum 20 years. God, Eugene, what have I done?
Hey, this isn't on you, Eleanor.
If I would have come down on him harder, if I would have just anticipated a felony murder.
This isn't on you.
He's going away for 20 years.
Will the defendant please rise? Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
We have.
What say you?
On the matter of the Commonwealth versus Byron Little, on the charge of attempted murder, we find the defendant not guilty.
Unlock him. Let him go. Jury's free. We're adjourned.
You're welcome.